I am not an educated person even today, man. I did a half a semester of college and I hated it and I dropped out and pursued other things, you know. But in high school, I mean, I think I read the cliff notes to every book I was supposed to read. I don't think I ever read a full book, you know. School is not like my forte, and frankly, it's still not something that, for me personally, it's not something that I'm that interested in. Learning, you know, and stuff, yeah, just not through the school avenue, I guess. But for me to sit down and read the scriptures, like I said, I didn't read the scriptures before I went on my mission at all. I never read the Book of Mormon. I don't think I made it past First Nephi. You know, I mean, I maybe started with my family a few times, but the desire to read scriptures wasn't there because, frankly, I hated to read. You know, maybe it's ADD or whatever it is, but I'm not a guy who sits down and studies and enjoys it, or, you know. So going into the mission, that was one thing that I thought I was going to struggle with, was the desire to study and read the scriptures. And, you know, a lot of people get bummed when they find out that they're not going to like a foreign mission. I wasn't. I was fine going to Georgia, but I didn't really understand why I was supposed to go to Georgia. And I think part of that was because, you know, I needed to learn the gospel instead of learning a language. I like I said, that studying thing just is not infused in me, and I don't enjoy it. And once I had my experience where I knew that the gospel is true, it's like something clicked within me, and I read the Book of Mormon over 7 times, and I'm an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me to read the Book of Mormon 7 times, in myself, I believe that that's a miracle, you know? Because God put that in me and helped me have that desire to learn. And not only was I just reading it, I wasn't reading it, you know, front to finish just to say that I'd done it. I mean, if I show you my scriptures, it was like things that never made sense were starting to make sense in my mind. You know what I mean? After receiving a testimony through the Spirit, it's like I was having things that were like being shown to me in the scriptures that made sense, and it almost proved it to me. I didn't need it to, because I had that spiritual, you know, enlightenment, and I felt, you know, the Spirit told me that the gospel is true. But it was like I was reading the scriptures, and, you know, I would be like, oh man, that connects to this, and I would pull up another scripture, and beyond that, I memorized over 500 scriptures on my mission. And if people, I mean, if you would have told that to like the people in my seminary class in high school, they wouldn't believe you. You know what I mean? Because I was a guy who did everything I could to get out of seminary, you know. And in fact, they made me seminary president my senior year in high school to try and motivate me, you know what I mean, to come more and to like take the responsibility. And frankly, it backfired on them, and it didn't work because I was the same person. And, you know, so if you were to go back and you were to tell like my seminary teachers, like, oh yeah, Marcus Swing read the Book of Mormon 7 times. He read, you know, the Bible 3 to 4 times, and he studied them. If you look through my scriptures, I would think that they would probably think it was a setup and it was fake. Even now, while I'm sitting in church with my wife, someone will be, you know, saying a scripture, reading a scripture, you know, in a talk or something, and I'll whisper it in her ear, you know, just to let her know that I had memorized that scripture. And to me, that was like a personal miracle, because, like I said, it's not in my nature to have the desire to study something, you know. It's in my nature to want to go work on a motorcycle and see how fast I can get it to, you know, to go down the road, not to read a book. You know what I mean? But some of my fondest memories, it was like we were given an hour in the mornings to do personal studies. And I think that was something that I would dread, but it became to be one of my most, you know, favorite times of the day, because I didn't have to study to learn a language. I was studying to learn the gospel, you know. And what that, you know, what those, that study time even then did for me, I mean, has changed my whole life. I mean, it's changed who I am. It changed like what I know, what I can teach other people, because, you know, I felt the church was true in high school, and I would get approached by people all the time and be like, wait, Marcus, you're a Mormon? And my answer was, yeah, I am. You got a problem with that? You know what I mean? Because I didn't know how to teach them about it or to handle that. So I was very defensive, you know what I mean? And frankly, I wish, and I'm glad that I got what I got when I did, and that the Lord blessed me with it. But I wish I could have known it a lot earlier in life. You know what I mean? So then I could have been an influence to more of my friends growing up. So to the missionaries who are preparing, it's like don't follow my example, and don't take this as this is a proven way to do things. I wish for everything I had, I could have done it earlier. You know what I mean? So prepare now so that you could be a missionary before you're a missionary, But I really think that was a miracle for me, was not only seeing the conversion process in myself, but also like the desire to learn and to study and, to take in the gospel and to learn it. And I mean, to read the scriptures, because frankly, I'd never done it before my mission. And I never would have thought that it would have been something that I wanted to do. And I still have that desire, even though I'm not the greatest student and I dropped out of college and, have chosen, other paths in life as far as learning the scriptures and the gospel is still something that I crave to learn,